Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Nur Emilia Alina binti Nurizan and now I will be present about risk management framework and process. So SDP has a risk management framework that is clearly defined and that outlines the process, methodologies and tools that are used for identifying, assessing and managing risk. It offers very specific directions on risk appetite, risk tolerance and risk reduction strategies. The company has also adopted the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, which is RSPO certification, which promotes sustainable practice in palm oil industry as well as having a methodical strategy for managing risk. There are 15 risks that our group are going to discuss. I will cover technology disruption risk and economic downturn risk. So for the first risk that arises in SDP is technology disruption, which SDP might fail to adapt to emerging technologies or disruptive innovations in the agriculture sector. The risk impact is low as automation and robotics technologies have the potential to transform various aspects as plantation operation. It is unlikely to happen as infrastructure investment help minimize the likelihood of disruptions by providing a solid foundation for the smooth operation of technology depending process. There are 3 response taken to manage the risk. The first step is SDP establish process to continuously monitor emerging technologies, assess their potential impact and adapt their strategies accordingly. This involves staying agile and proactive in embracing new technologies or making necessary adjustments to mitigate disruption risk. We move to the second risk, which is economic downturn. Economic downturn is a global economic downturn or recession can lead to decreased demand for palm oil products, affecting SDP's sales and revenue. The risk impact is low as decline in global demand and trade can trigger an economic downturn. This is unlikely to happen as consumers and business are confident to contribute to the economic growth, which can help sustain economic stability. To manage the economic downturn risk, SDP may implement cost-cutting initiatives to streamline operations and reduce expenses. This could involve measures such as optimizing resources, reducing discretionary spending, implementing efficiency measures, and reviewing budgets. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Xiaowon Wei. Now I will continue the presentations with the biosecurity risks. Introductions of invasive species and pests into plantations can threaten crop health and productivity, requiring costly containment and eradication efforts. Impacts of biosecurity risk is low. Invasive palm oil pests can cause damage to oil palm tree, leading to reduced yields and economy loss. Likelihood of the biosecurity risk is unlikely. Insufficiency monitoring and surveillance system may result in delayed detections of biosecurity threat. Response taken should be managed. SAMW plantations should engage with relevant government agencies, industry associations and other stakeholders to share information, coordinate efforts, and develop joint initiative for biosecurity management. Legal and regulatory risks. Change in the regulatory landscape in the markets where the SAMW operates may expose the SAMW to higher complaints costs and increased scrutiny. Impact of the risk is moderate. Rules and the regulations are something that must be complied. Any change that happens need to be updated. Due to the change in the regulatory will increase cost of doing business. Likelihood of the risk is possible. Rules and the regulations always change because want to strike a balance between protecting the public interest and promoting the economic growth. SAMW should accept the risk by taking proactive engagements and communications with all the stakeholders to ensure the potential impact of proposed regulatory change is understood. SAMW should have an active communication with the local regulators to get the amicable solution. Competition risk escalate in the markets where the SAMW operate under challenging economic conditions as well as the confluence of factors such as customer demands, real material price volatility, change in the global supply and demands, inflationary pressures, and change in regulations. Impact of the risk is moderate. Sundabi operate in a highly competitive market, but Sundabi is one of the largest palm oil company in Malaysia, so that the Sundabi will not really have impact on this. It can possibly happen due to the challenging economic conditions. Sundabi should manage the risk by closely monitoring the customer and competitor strategy to prepare for any shift in market trend. Sundabi should also make close engagement with customer to ensure the competitiveness. Continuous assessments and realignments of strategy remains the competitive. Financial risks have two significant factors, which is the frequent rise in interest rate by central banks globally and the risk of clients defaulting. Impact of the risk is moderate. The frequent rise in the interest rate and the risk of the clients defaulting can increase the financing expense and the overall business cost for Sundabi. Failure to make payments and the breach of contract can have a negative influence on financial stability. It will possibly happen with the frequent rise in the interest rate and potential volatility in clients' financial conditions. Sundabi should manage the risk by safeguarding from the effect of negative fluctuations in interest rate through the implementations of legal derivative instruments such as short-term interest rate swap. Furthermore, for specific contracts with higher risk, Sundabi should implement stricter payment conditions or more secure payments mechanisms to mitigate the potential risk.
Thank you, Wenwei. Assalamualaikum, Doctor. My name is Anish Mimi, metric number 280851. I focus the net 3 risks related to Sundabi Plantation or SDP. First risk that I will focus on is people and culture risk. It refers to the possibility that SDP will face related to workforce or culture. It could affect company human resource and hard for them to meet their goal if cannot hire or retain skilled workers. It is possible to happen and the impact to SDP is moderate, where it can reduce output, efficiency, productivity and performance. Higher turnover rate might occur if SDP had trouble in recruiting and retain talent due to job dissatisfaction as well as unhealthy work environment. Response taken by SDP is implement any plan to attract the talent where efficient recruitment, training and development should be performed. The next risk is health and safety risk, which refer to danger to people's health and well-being. It can result in legal liability, disruption to workforce and damage to the company reputation. This risk is possible to happen and it can give moderate impact such as workplace incidents, injuries and illnesses that could lead to absenteeism, ineffectiveness, physical harm and emotional distress. Thus, the response taken is to manage this risk where it requires strong safety policy and procedure. The policy should contain safety training, uses of PPE, incident reporting and awareness to promote safety. And lastly, the third risk that I will focus on is commodity risk, where it concerns on cost per order or CPO price, downtrend and high energy cost. CPO price has been on a downtrend as recession fear combined with tight household spending due to high base interest rate. This risk is likely to happen but can fluctuate frequently due to various factors such as global supply and demand dynamics, weather condition and government policy. It could give impact in terms of profitability, investment and also cost of operating. SDP should manage this risk by using derivative instrument. SDP has natural protection against price volatility due to integrated player. SDP also will improve product and service offering through diversification and differentiation of existing product. That's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you, Anis. Assalamualaikum. Hi, my name is Aminah Suha and my metric is 280134. I will continue with the 3 more risks that can be identified. The first risk is a labor shortage risk. Labor shortage risk is about potential or actual scarcity of available worker in particular labour market or industry. This risk is give a high impact to SDP. SDP affected badly since they are reducing number of worker. This is because the lack of labour represent for 38% of the total 11,159 harvester are needed. But the risk is unlikely happen since the labour shortage happen because of COVID-19 pandemic. There are low possibility of it to happen and it's expected to resolve by the first quarter of 2023. Response taken by SDP is avoid. SDP has agreed to avoid foreign worker by focusing on hiring the local worker. The next is compliance risk. Compliance risk refer to potential for the organisation to violate laws, regulation, industry standard, internal policy and procedure. The impact is high. The risk will affect SDP capacity to import or export goods in particular country if it decided to disregard the framework of decarbonisation. Likelihood is impossible. There are always have a new stricter policy and regulation. SDP need to comply with the new one. The response taken is managed. SDP managed by make a comprehensive and structured compliance program. And the last one is weather risk. Weather risk refer to an adverse or unforeseen weather condition, give an effect on the staff safety, yield productivity as well as disruption in supply chain. It will give a high impact to SDP. Floods that happen mostly during end of the year that give impact to the maintenance, mowing, harvesting as well as fruit evacuation process as well as disrupt the operation of SDP. The likelihood is likely. Weather is something that we cannot control. We need to be prepared. SDP take response by manage it. For areas located at coastal area that prone to flooding, SDP take an action to build bunds around the coastal area to prevent seawater from seeping into the plantation area.
I am Nur Shakira binti Muhammad Jeffrey. My matrix number is 288880. I will continue with 3 final risks. Geopolitical uncertainties risk refer to the potential risks and challenges arising from political, economic and social factors at a global or regional level. Geopolitical uncertainties can result from factors such as international conflicts, trade disputes, economic sanctions, political instability, regulatory changes or geopolitical shift. The impact for this risk is high. The risk has the potential to affect demand, disrupt global supply systems and cause commodities prices to fluctuate. Likelihood is likely it will happen due to the complexities of geopolitical dynamics and diplomatic challenges. Response taken. Manage. SDP should keep track of key geopolitical developments that can expose the group to systemic risk and if appropriate, modify their strategies. Besides, SDP should engage closely with clients and vendors on the ground to actively monitor and grasp the effect of geopolitical changes. Second, supply chain risk refers to the potential disruptions, vulnerabilities and uncertainties that can impact the flow of goods, services and information within a supply chain network, leading to delays, increased costs or even complete breakdowns in the supply chain process. The impact for this risk is high. SDP supply chain and profitability may be significantly impacted by a shortage of vessels and containers, interruptions in supply networks and higher operating expenses. The likelihood is likely it should be considering the shortage of vessels and containers, interruptions in supply networks and the unpredictable nature of global demand and raw material prices. Response taken. Manage. SDP should adopt a shipment management system to automate the shipping procedure and reduce the need for manual intervention. Political and social risk refers to the potential negative impact on businesses, investments or individuals resulting from political and social factors in a specific country or region. These risks are associated with uncertainties and instability in the political and social environment that can affect economic and business activities. The impact for this risk is high. Land use, environmental and labour regulations can force SDP to change its operations or pay more to comply. The likelihood is likely. Negative publicity, media scrutiny or public perception of the company's controversial activities can damage its brand image. Response taken. SDP may proactively manage stakeholders by communicating with local communities, government officials, non-governmental organizations, and other stakeholders. Open communication helps the company understand issues, resolve complaints, and build goodwill. That's all from us. Thank you.